So here's what went down on the back porch the other day. I'm sitting there for hours, literally 7 hours having breakfast, thinking about dream tournaments and reality. Then boom, everything exploded when Alcaraz dropped a brutal 8-word response that completely broke the internet. Grab some snacks, because the drama we're diving into today is absolutely scorching hot, and involves a beef that came out of absolutely nowhere. This is your home for everything happening both on and off the tennis court. And today we're unpacking a story that has completely shattered social media, split entire generations, and left everyone in sports and entertainment completely stunned. This is the ultimate showdown between two powerhouses. On one side, you've got the media empire queen herself, the billionaire who's been controlling cultural conversations for decades, Oprah Winfrey. On the other side, there's the emerging superstar of Filipino tennis, a Gen Z force whose crushing court game is matched only by her massive online presence, Alcaraz. You'd expect these two incredible women to be supporting each other in some inspiring interview about lifting women up. Instead, they're currently engaged in one of the most ruthless, public, and intensely personal battles we've seen in recent pop culture memory. And it all ended with Alex delivering an 8-word knockout punch that has the entire internet choosing sides. To really grasp how massive this explosion became, we need to break down how this whole thing started brewing. Alcaraz has been completely owning the spotlight recently. Sure, her tennis game is incredible. She's a Rafa Nadal Academy graduate with junior Grand Slam credentials and a work ethic that would intimidate a machine. But recently, her influence has gone way beyond just the sport. She's evolved into a worldwide phenomenon, a style icon, a social media queen, and a major voice for young people everywhere. Every single time she walks onto a court, appears at an event, or drops a post online, millions of people are watching, engaging, and spreading the word. Her matches have transformed into major events, pulling in audiences not just for the powerful shots, but for the incredible energy she radiates. Venues that used to struggle with attendance are now completely packed. The moment Alex's name appears on the schedule, companies are reaching out. Major brands are fighting for partnerships. Fashion magazines are featuring her on covers. She's not just playing tennis anymore, she's leading a cultural movement. Apparently, all this massive attention really bothered someone, because completely out of the blue, Oprah Winfrey jumped on social media and launched what can only be described as a direct attack on the young tennis star. The message was like a precision strike, calculated and devastating. Oprah posted, "I've been watching Alcaraz dominate the headlines lately, and let's be real, it's not because of her exceptional tennis talent. The buzz around her comes from her image, her viral personality, and the spectacle of her rise, not from genuine skill. I've spent decades building conversations that uplift and unite people, while she has become a symbol of distraction, emotional chaos, and headlines that feed off controversy instead of meaning. Being adored is not the same as making a real impact. We may be everywhere right now, but history remembers depth, not noise." Hold up, let's just take a moment to process that, because this wasn't some gentle criticism, this was a complete character takedown from one of the most influential people on Earth. Oprah basically accused this young athlete of caring more about Instagram followers than tennis fundamentals, more about looking good than actually being good. For Oprah to suggest that Alex's success comes from creating drama rather than grinding on practice courts is an absolutely shocking claim. Think about what Alex actually went through, leaving the Philippines as a teenager, moving across the world to train at the elite Rafa Nadal Academy in Spain, and starting the brutal, lonely journey of professional tennis. She faced losses, dealt with injuries, broke down on courts thousands of miles from home, and earned every single ranking point through pure determination. The internet response was immediate and explosive. Fan armies clashed across every single platform, opinion pieces started flying, sports reporters jumped in with hot takes, entertainment writers had strong feelings, athletes picked sides. Everyone waited to see if Alex would do what most young players do, issue some boring corporate apology designed to avoid angering the daytime TV legend. But if you know anything about Alcaraz, if you've watched her battle through tiebreaks in Grand Slam qualifying or fight through brutal 3-set matches in crushing heat, you already know she doesn't back down from big hitters. Whether she's returning a screaming serve or dealing with billionaire shade, her approach stays the same: lock in and fire back. Alex didn't wait for her team to write something safe. She didn't sleep on it or run it past lawyers and publicists. She responded immediately, delivering a masterpiece in standing your ground with intelligence, grace, and devastating precision. Her response was powerful, emotional, and cut right to the heart of everything. Alex wrote, "Miss Oprah, I've never chased fame. I've only tried to tell my story honestly and help people who come from the same tough places I did. Any attention coming my way isn't about chaos. It's from years of struggle, hard work, community efforts, and real people who see themselves in my journey. While you've focused on inspiring audiences, I've focused on saving dreams, lifting up the broken, proving that opportunity is real no matter where you come from. Being seen isn't a crime, ma'am. It's what happens when you speak from your scars and try to turn your pain into purpose. This response reveals a massive cultural and generational gap that goes way beyond tennis. Oprah built her empire when media was controlled from the top. You needed an invitation to have a voice. A publicist had to pitch you. An executive had to approve your story. Oprah was the gatekeeper who decided which stories deserved to be heard. But Alex represents a completely different generation of athletes who've taken control of their own stories. No TV studio required. No publicist required. No executive approval needed. She points her phone at herself, speaks from her heart, posts to millions, and the world responds instantly. When Alex talks about coming from tough places and focusing on saving dreams, she's not speaking in empty phrases. She's a young woman carrying the sporting hopes of an entire developing nation. She shares her struggles with burnout. She posts about her community work and activism. She cries on camera and doesn't apologize for being human. For Alex, using her viral platform to fund grassroots tennis programs in the Philippines or speak up for underprivileged kids isn't taking away from her tennis. It's exactly why she plays tennis. The Turn Your Pain into Purpose message connected so powerfully with her followers that the hashtag immediately started trending worldwide, completely taking over the conversation Oprah tried to control. But the absolute peak of this entire drama, the single moment that truly sent shockwaves around the world and guaranteed this feud legendary status, was the final line of Alex's response. After her passionate, eloquent defense of her journey, Alex didn't leave room for debate. She didn't end with questions or peace offerings. She shut it down with an 8-word message so perfectly crafted and so brutally effective that it instantly got millions of likes, shares, and support from fans and athletes everywhere. Those 8 words that broke the internet were, "My legacy is built on courts, not couches." The collective gasp from around the world was audible. In just 8 words, Alex perfectly highlighted the core difference between their worlds. She reminded everyone that while Oprah has built incredible wealth and influence discussing other people's struggles from a comfortable TV studio, Alex is out there sweating, bleeding, fighting for every point, every paycheck, and every ounce of respect on the hard courts of the world. It was the ultimate, perfectly measured comeback. Not vulgar, not a tantrum, not desperate lashing out from someone who felt cornered. It was a cold, precise, confident statement of her identity as a warrior in the sporting arena. 8 words was all it took to flip the entire script so completely that Oprah's post now looks tone-deaf and disconnected. The reaction to those 8 words has been absolutely incredible to witness. Fellow tennis players have been quietly liking Alex's posts across platforms, showing solidarity from the locker room. Former champions who spent years dealing with the same tired narrative that marketability somehow undermines athletic credibility have been vocal supporters. This situation exposes a much bigger conversation that's been quietly building in tennis for years, one the establishment hoped would stay buried. Whenever a young, attractive, charismatic female tennis player gets attention beyond the court lines, certain segments try to tear her down with the same recycled narrative every time. We saw it with Anna Kournikova in the late 90s, when her marketability was used against her despite being a genuine top 10 player and Grand Slam doubles champion. The media reduced her to looks and used her commercial success as proof she wasn't serious about tennis. We saw it with Maria Sharapova, who constantly had to prove her competitive fire was real and that magazine covers didn't contradict trophy cases. We saw it with Emma Raducanu, who achieved the statistically impossible feat of winning the US Open as a qualifier without dropping a set through 3-3, qualifying rounds, and 7 main draw matches, one of the greatest sporting achievements in WTA history, then got relentlessly criticized the moment she signed luxury brand deals. If a male tennis player wins a Grand Slam and signs endorsement deals, headlines focus on his business intelligence. If a young woman does it, headlines question her sport commitment. The double standard is exhausting and pervasive, and Oprah's critique played directly into this same tired pattern, which makes Alex's response so powerful and historically significant. She didn't just defend herself, she destroyed the entire outdated mindset. What Oprah failed to understand is that the game has completely changed. Today's athletes, especially someone as grounded and strategically smart as Alex Elise, refuse to accept the old shut up and play mentality. They understand that building a massive platform outside your sport isn't betraying your sport. It's insurance, leverage, and the difference between depending entirely on prize money versus having financial independence to make decisions based on your values, rather than desperation. Alex's popularity isn't distracting from her tennis career. It's the foundation that allows her tennis career to exist on her terms. She's using that leverage to uplift her community, something she made crystal clear in her response, and something Oprah should have immediately recognized and respected. Looking at recent developments, the tension keeps building. Oprah's team has stayed surprisingly quiet since the 8-word bomb dropped, perhaps realizing they severely underestimated the size and loyalty of Alex's fanbase, or maybe consulting advisors about whether any response is possible without making things dramatically worse. Meanwhile, Alex has been spotted back at practice looking completely unbothered. Sources close to her training describe her as focused, sharp, and hitting shots with aggressive intensity that suggest she's channeling all this external noise directly into her racket and preparation. There's a proud tradition in sports of athletes using controversy as fuel, and based on Alex's track record of rising to pressure moments, she's about to play some of the best tennis of her life. Word has spread through tennis circles that ticket sales for her upcoming tournaments have exploded since the feud went viral. Promoters are scrambling to secure center court slots for her matches, knowing the global audience is watching and waiting to see how she handles this intense new level of scrutiny. Will the pressure break her? Will suddenly being in the crosshairs of one of the most powerful media personalities in history cause her to tighten up and miss shots she normally makes easily? Or will she do what champions do, use every obstacle, every criticism, every moment of doubt as fuel for a fire that burns even brighter? Based on her pain into purpose philosophy, I wouldn't bet against her for a single second or a single point. This entire explosive saga provides an incredibly revealing look at the current state of the WTA Tour and women's tennis overall. The sport is experiencing a major generational shift. Legends like Serena Williams have retired, leaving behind a legacy so massive that no single player can fill it alone. Instead, the sport needs a constellation of new stars, each bringing something unique, each capable of capturing different segments of the global audience. Players like Iga Swiatek, Aryna Sabalenka, and Coco Gauff are carrying the torch beautifully with their court excellence. But the tour desperately needs the kind of crossover pop culture magnetism that Alex is generating in quantities no marketing team could manufacture. The WTA needs players who can make headlines, sell out stadiums, bring non-tennis fans to the sport, and inspire teenagers in Manila or Lagos to pick up rackets for the first time. By attacking Alex's spectacle, Oprah is arguably attacking the very thing that keeps modern sports alive and growing in the digital age. The WTA doesn't need rising stars to be quiet, humble, and invisible off-court. It needs them to be exactly what Alex is, compelling, authentic, vocal, and connected to communities that traditional sports media has ignored. In the age of TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and rapid digital consumption where attention spans are short and content options are endless, a player's viral personality isn't distracting from the sport. It's the sport's greatest asset for reaching the next generation of fans. Alex isn't hurting tennis. She's saving it. She's introducing millions of young people across Southeast Asia, Africa, and Latin America to a sport they might never have discovered otherwise, helping them understand why this deceptively simple game is actually one of the most mentally, physically, and emotionally demanding pursuits humans can undertake. Ultimately, this clash between Oprah Winfrey and Alex Ellis represents something much bigger than tennis, media, social media followings, or even who delivered the most devastating verbal blow. It's a fundamental cultural moment about how we measure impact in the modern world, how we judge young women who dare to be visible and complicated and unapologetically themselves, and most critically, who gets to decide what legacy looks like. Oprah Winfrey's legacy is absolutely cemented in history. She's done immeasurable good, broken incredible barriers, and built institutions that will outlast us all. Nobody questions that. But here's what this moment demands we acknowledge. Oprah doesn't own the monopoly on defining impact. Alex Ellis is writing her own history right now, on her own courts, on her own terms, blending the relentless athleticism of world-class professional tennis with the intelligence and deeply rooted authenticity of a modern icon who knows exactly where she came from and exactly where she's headed. And if anyone tries to tell her she's just noise, they better prepare themselves. 8 words is all it takes. 8 words, a clear conscience, and years of grinding on courts from Manila to Madrid to Melbourne. 8 words from a young woman who left everything familiar behind, chasing a dream everyone said was too expensive, too difficult, and too unlikely for someone from where she came from. 8 words that have now echoed around the world and sparked conversations in boardrooms, locker rooms, classrooms, and family dinner tables about what we owe the athletes who carry our hopes and dreams and what we absolutely have no right to take away from them. My legacy is built on courts, not couches. Remember those 8 words, because we'll be quoting them for years to come. What an absolutely incredible, jaw-dropping, endlessly complex story this has been. The drama continues unfolding, the conversation keeps growing. Sides are still being chosen, and arguments are still being made across every platform, in every language, on every continent where tennis is played, and stories of young women overcoming impossible odds are celebrated. Do you think Oprah was completely wrong with her comments? Or does she have a valid point about modern athletes sometimes getting lost in the performance of fame instead of focusing on genuine depth and impact? And more importantly, be completely honest right now. Is Alex Ellis's 8-word response the greatest athlete comeback we've seen this entire decade? I absolutely need your thoughts on this epic, historic showdown. Jump into the comments right now and tell me whose side you're on. Team Oprah or Team Ellis? The debate is completely open, and we want every voice heard. If you love this deep, dramatic, unfiltered dive into the hottest drama in tennis right now, smash that like button, subscribe so you never miss updates, and hit notifications because the tennis world never stops, and neither do we.